All right, let's get it started this morning. How's everybody doing? Want to have a good weekend? All right. Anyone with us today? Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. You have a good weekend?
I have no complaints.
Daylight savings time is throwing everyone off, I think.
Yeah, it was crazy. I worked, so.
Yeah.
It was a good morning for one of our teammates. She asked me to do an open house for her and I was all ready to go. Even had a lender in line and she took an offer on Friday. So good for her, but bad for me. So I need open houses.
Gotcha. Who they got it under contract? Was it
Yes.
Chelsea's?
It was Chelsea's, yes.
No. Yeah, she got
Looked
that
like a
under
real
contract.
cute property too.
Yeah,
Nice
it
area.
is. It's a brand new house.
Yes. So I'm not
Yeah.
surprised. I was hoping to have it kind of hold off a little bit, but it's all good. I'm happy for everybody involved because good things come.
Yes, yeah, that was finally she was able to do an open house because they finally had power at that house and immediately went under contract. So good for her. So yeah. It was a good weekend. Tanya, how are you? Did you do any open houses this weekend?
No, not this weekend, but hopefully this coming weekend.
Yeah.
Do you have any
I-
open houses is coming up?
Well, the two that I was going to do open houses both went under contract last night. The one that you did the open house on, what, 2 weeks ago?
Mhm.
So that one went under contract, and then I listed one last Monday that went live last Tuesday, and it went under contract last night too. So both of
So
those
good.
are. Got one in Charlotte. I might do one on, but I'm hoping to get an offer on that one. So hopefully I don't have to do one, but I might schedule one just in case. But
Okay.
Oh, well,
I
also,
think-
go ahead.
no, go ahead.
I think Kayla was the one that was putting it up that there might be one coming up. So we'll see.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
Well, I already, messaged Brian about this. I think I put it on the Facebook as well, but however, I can't even tell you how it came to me, but someone came to me that's an investor and they're looking for, any distressed properties. If anybody knows anybody, I'm sure that's not like a one-off, but he's definitely like kind of pushing. He's hitting me up almost every day asking me about an update of anything that's kind of like off market about the hit market. He's a cash buyer. He just wants a project.
I've got two that are on market that are both distressed. If you want, I can send you those addresses when we get off here.
For sure.
I met an investor at one of them yesterday, and we literally had to take hammer and screwdrivers to take down one of the doors while we were there yesterday in 30-degree pouring rain. So it's definitely a work in progress. But yeah, I'll shoot you those two this morning, and maybe one of those will be a good fit. We can do a deal together. So
Sure.
for Karen and Tanya, this is going to be kind of a rehash of what we just did in our live training last week. So this one's a lot about finding the listing, preparing for
Well,
a
I
listing.
don't need to be there. I think I'll dump out because I was there last time. I
Yeah,
was in
so this will be pretty similar. I'm not recommending you jump it off of, but I mean this is gonna be a lot of what we just did, kind of the listing presentation and preparing for the listing and that kind of stuff. Did you end up making any calls?
Okay, I'm weak. Okay, I'm very weak on script. I picked up the phone, had it in my hand, I was shaking like a leaf, and I didn't know what to say after. Hello, my name's Karen Toutant with Realty One Group, blah, blah, blah. Are you still interested in looking at offers? I didn't know what to say. I stumbled. I straight up
How about
stumbled.
you? Did you make any? So I know you're eating breakfast.
I know I'm eating breakfast. I did not make any calls because I was focusing on something else. I was just focusing on expanding my circle. I had opportunities and meetings for that. So,
Good. Yeah.
but it's on my to-do list. Like I want to do it. It's just, I had other opportunities come up.
The great thing is you can call them 7 days a week. So they're always there. Karen, we'll get you more comfortable doing that. So we'll jump into this. Circles of opportunity. Kind of like I was telling them, for those people that joined last Wednesday, it was a great training on kind of how to find motivated sellers, the 7 steps to the listing process, how to qualify your sellers, and then using a pre-listing questionnaire. So we'll jump right into it. A lot of it is research and preparation, which we talked about. We're going to go to the components of the pre-listing package. We're going to dive into comps a little bit, but we're not going to do full comps today. And then scripts and dialogues for your sellers. So reasons for securing listings. Buying and the buyers and sellers are great, right? So don't think that one's definitely better than the other, but the reason that having listings and it can be very beneficial for you is because it's greater control of your time. We talked about if you had 5 active buyers right now, that takes a lot of your time, right? If every buyer wants to see 3 to 5 houses every week, you're kind of strapped for time, versus if you have listings, you have a lot more control, right? You can have 5 to 10 listings on the market at a time and be in complete control, right? Because once you get them active, you're just kind of managing the showings and the offers in your client. Again, another great benefit of having the listing is you're able to build your reputation a little bit more, right? You're able to share those listings. You got yard signs up, you got your social media posts, right? So people are constantly seeing you and seeing that you're the expert that is selling the houses in that neighborhood. So the benefit of having a listing is it's a lot easier to get a listing, right? Which is crazy, right? So if you want a bunch of listings, go get a listing. It seems crazy to think of, but that's the best way to get more businesses is from having that business. So you can handle a lot more volume. And a lot of sellers become buyers, which results in additional transactions, right? So, again, buyers are great too, but a lot of times if you focus on the listing side, it's going to come with both, right? So, for example, the listing that I just took last week that went under contract last night, now she wants to go out and buy a house, right? So we just put her house under contract for around 300, and they're going to upgrade to around a $600,000 house, right? So I'm going to get two transactions out of that. Had I just been looking for her as a buyer, I would have never found her. So those are some reasons why it's beneficial to focus on getting some listings. And obviously there's a ton of different ways where you guys can get motivated people, right? So obviously the closest things is, referrals, specialized groups, door knocking, which we've talked about a few times. Door knocking is one of those things. It can be hard for some people. Just like Karen just said, it's hard for her to pick up the phone. I pick up the phone all day long before door knocking, but door knocking is a great way to get your foot in the door. Life events, that's where a lot of your business is going to come from. Just people at the gym, people at the bakery, people at your church, people wherever they may be. Just out meeting people. And then the next thing is, something we talked about a lot last week was for sale by owner, right? Expired listing, probate sales. Those are expired and for sale by owners. I've made a lot of my career out of those two, just because they're there. If you're not scared to pick up the phone, you can pick up a listing every week, right? And that's a great way to do business. It's just about you getting comfortable making those calls. Garage sales, I haven't done that before, but I would definitely more focus on holding open houses, and then obviously your circle of influence, and that should be something you guys, especially as new agents, should be constantly posting, right? Just as much as you can to let people know that you are doing real estate and to give you a chance, right? It's a good learning curve for you. Your friends are going to be more lenient with you, knowing that you're brand new, so they're not going to be pressuring you as much. And if you make a mistake, you guys can laugh about it. So testing your skills with a friend is always a fantastic way to do things. And scripts, and we'll go over some scripts here in a little bit. But you want to know what you're going to say on the phone, right? You're going to want to know what your script's going to be when you get there in person, right? So you need to know what your plan's going to be before, during, and after. So prospecting is the biggest thing. And again, I always say this, but if we weren't doing this on a Monday, my schedule 9 to 11 o'clock is my prospecting time. So this is usually when I'm blasting the phone. It's literally right now. And my friends and family and coworkers, they know that from 9 to 11, you might as well not text or call me, because I'm probably not going to answer you. They got this set up. Your first hour, prepare. Find where you're going to get the leads from. Get everything organized. Hour 2, prospect, make those phone calls, and then hour 3, follow up from your previous prospecting. So maybe you don't have an hour's worth of people to call every day, right? Which is fine, right? But still go through and find a way to prospect some, if it's not every day, every other day in the beginning. But Tanya, like you were mentioning, find ways to add people to your CRM and add people in there so you have people to start prospecting with. So again, this all goes back to time blocking, and it all goes back to using your CRM, right? So I'd love for everyone on here to say that the first thing they do in the morning is go to the CRM. That's what I do. And I check for tasks that I've set for myself, and that's where all my follow-ups are going to be. So your first step in the morning, if it's follow-up and it's spending time in your CRM, you are going to be on a great track. Tracking your progress. I do something similar. I have a notepad in front of me, and I normally, the old school, make little marks, 1, 2, 3, 4, cross 5. I mean, how many phone calls I make, and I keep track of it that way. Very, very old school in that manner, and keep my notes written down. But I like to see how many people I can schedule. My goal every day is to schedule, one in person, or one phone appointment or one in-person appointment. So yes, I mean, just whatever goals you have. So maybe your goals are different. Maybe you just want to set one appointment a week would be great, right? Which would be a great goal for right now if you're a new agent. If you could schedule yourself one in-person appointment a week, that would be phenomenal, right? So set a goal that's obtainable for you guys, and then keep track of your progress. Will definitely help you guys out. Preparing to win the listing. I know we mentioned this last week. Have you guys seen the listing presentation? Have you guys gone on and downloaded the presentation and started customizing that yet?
A little bit.
Gotcha.
Slowly started, but I liked how you really showed yours.
Yeah. So this is kind of like the blank template that yours will look like, and it's just very easy to just go in here, right? So you're gonna click on this and edit it, right? You put your name on there, and then you can go to the next page. That page is kind of already said you can change these pictures out if you want. Right, so you're going to add pictures in here. So the template's kind of like set up for you just to add your stuff. Like enter your info here. What's your goal? Why are you a good agent? So you just want to customize it as much as you can. Why I'm the one. You saw mine. I mean, I put adorable pictures of my family. So when I'm showing it, they're like, oh, that's you want to get them drawn in and liking you as a human being, and not just an agent out there trying to sell them something. The content in here is fantastic, right? So know these stats, know the different things are in here, and then customize it. And there's not a lot of customization that you guys have to do, and it's easy to get this done. I mean, you guys can spend an hour or two setting this up because a lot of the stuff is already in here, right? But you guys need to know the different things that are in here. This is a big chart that, you know, we talked about last week is when it comes to pricing, we'll kind of go over comps here in a little bit. But this is something you want to talk to your clients at, right? If pricing your house correctly is going to make it sell the fastest.
Real quick,
Unfortunately,
why don't, you know, last time you said you don't do the home staging. How come you steer away from home staging? Personally,
and again, there's nothing wrong with home staging. I don't want to, that's just, I've just never done it because I've been more of I like to turn a lot of transactions like as quick as I can. So I feel like if I'm going to stage a home, it takes time to do that, to set that up. That delays me getting a listing. It delays me going live on a listing. And I feel like it kind of sets the precedent. It's going to take a while if you're going to have furniture in a house. I don't know. I know some people that do it and they have a lot of success with it. And maybe some of my houses might have sold quicker for more with home staging. So I just don't take the time to do it if I don't have to. There are other ways that you can, there are companies out there will now like virtually stage your house, which is cool. So you can actually, you know, send them your pictures and they can put furniture in there for you and you can have those pictures available as well. I just don't personally do it. I'm not a vision person like that. That's out of my, and maybe that'd be much better for you. Like you have that vision. If you put me in an empty house, I'd be like, my wife would be better. She's obviously the one that decorates the house, but for me, I just don't have that vision. And I feel like it slows my process down.
no, that's good.
I feel like,
Thank you.
yeah, for example, the house that I listed on Tuesday, it went under contract last night, and I could have staged that one, and it would been a perfect one to do that on. But I feel like it was just so nice the way it was, and honestly, I mean, we should have went under contract Friday, but we kind of took our time accepting that offer. But I mean, so we could have had it in that, you know, 2 days on the market, and I feel like to have taken several days to stage it, do all that work to do it, might not have been worth the time. But again, that's just me.
No, it's good. I think there's pros and cons to everything. I just wanted to get your take on it.
Of course,
Some
yes.
people, they come in and they're like, what do I do with this space? Like, it doesn't make any sense or whatever. And so it's good to give them ideas kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure. And that the one that you did, the open house on mine, it also went on a contract last night. That might have been a good one to stage. And maybe that would have helped it sell a little faster. But you know, that's also one that goes back to this right here. Wasn't priced, you know, and that's wasn't my ideal to price it like that.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting a very good offer in cash. But it took longer to sell, longer than I would like to have sell. But again, I didn't price it at fair market value right here, this 60% mark where I should have. You know, we were up here.
Yeah.
But the number that we got is it's up here. So it ended up working out. But again, to your point, I think that would have been a good one too, because it is not awkward, but some of those spaces were so big in that house, I couldn't even imagine what to do. So maybe the interior designer who came in there and staged that house and made it look better.
Well, because some of them were just asking, they're like, well, what would I put here? Or, you know, so yeah.
Like, well, what do you have? I don't know. What do you have? I don't know. Do you have a piano? Piano would be
Make it
good.
work. That's funny.
So again, this is just kind of the list. I mean, we're not going to read every pen on here. You guys should be spending time and again, know your listing presentation frontwards and backwards by heart. But again, go through this, customize this, save it as a PDF, and whether you take your iPad in there, your laptop in there. I actually had this printed out as well. So if I need to like physically show it to somebody, I can do that. So there's different ways. I mean, you can download this and then send it to Staples and they will print it out for you nice and glossy and bind it for you if you want. So however you guys want to do it, but make sure that you have this at all times and that you're ready to present it. Yes, there are a lot of steps in the listing process and we will go over those. Pre-listing questionnaire. When I'm setting the appointment, I'm not asking a lot of questions. Just if I know that they're anyone interested in selling, then I'm going to set the appointment and go out there. Number 2 is a big one. You know, you want to be fully prepared when you go out there. before you go out there. So you want to do your research, you want to know the neighborhood, you want to know all the comps, you want to know what has sold, what hasn't sold. I'll give you an example of not being prepared. I went to a listing appointment yesterday on Sunday. Yeah, I ran 2 listing appointments yesterday and had a showing and put 200. Yesterday was a long day. The wife was not impressed with my lack of being home yesterday. I will say that, but it's real estate. But I went to a listing appointment and I comped it as a regular house, and I didn't do enough research to realize that this area is going commercial. And when I looked at the stuff that was on the market, it didn't really see anything next door. But had I looked on the commercial side and looked more into it, their next door neighbor's house was listed for like 2.2 million. And I was like, whoa, that's not what I have comped at all. And he's like, well, this whole area is going commercial. They're putting 450 apartments right next door. Our front of our yard is being converted to a 4-lane highway. And I was like, well, I'm not prepared to give you numbers, and that's my fault. So today I'm going to give them comps. I'm going to do some research, and I could have been a little bit more prepared on that one. I didn't have all the info in advance, and I could have asked more stuff, I guess, over the phone when I set the appointment, but I wanted to make sure that I got in front of them. So there's gonna be times you're not prepared, and instead of just making up numbers and promising things I could do, I just told him I'd rather wait and do my research before I give him anything, and he respected that. And yeah, so hopefully when I follow back up with them, we can come to a realistic price and get that on the market. Create and deliver the listing package. I am the listing package. So I mean, when I'm not handing them anything typically, I'm coming out there and I have the comps. I've got my presentation and the listing presentation and everything. So when people say, do you want to email me all your stuff? How about this? How about I come out and meet with you tomorrow? That's what I'm always going to say, because you guys are going to want to do that as well. So the more that you're in front of somebody, the better off you're going to be, right? So you always want to do as much as you can in person, because understand if they're on the phone with you about listing their house, they're probably on the phone with 5 other agents as well. So if you get in front of them, your chances of getting that business are at least 10x. So you're going to want to do the listing presentation. After you do the listing presentation, you go over the pricing and you guys agree to the pricing. You're going to ask for the listing, and that is for a new agent the most difficult thing, and it's an awkward feeling. You're just sitting there and ask for signatures on roughly 30 pages. That's fun, right? But at some point, you guys just have to know that you are the right agent, right? You've put the footwork in. Right, you've done the research. You got up, you put a cute outfit on, you drove out to their house, you spent an hour with them, you've educated them. Whether you're a brand new agent or not, you have educated them, because you're the licensed professional here. You deserve their business, right? And you just have to have that mentality, like that I've done enough to earn your business, and I'm the right person, and no one's going to work harder than me to get this done, right? And whether you've done a listing or not, like I mentioned in the live training last Wednesday, you have a company that takes listings every day, right? And you have a whole team of people that can help you. So just because you personally haven't done it doesn't mean that you can't have the confidence that we take listings and get them sold every day, right? So keep that in the back of your mind when it's time to ask for the business, and don't be scared. So after that it comes the marketing and servicing the listing. Negotiations, and negotiations are, you guys will find that at some point in your careers, step 5 is going to be easy. That's gonna be the easiest part, is finding someone that's interested in getting the listing. You guys are going to find that step 6 is the hardest one. Getting through escrow is where actually the hard work is, right? You guys can be out there picking up buyers and listings left and right all the time, but getting them through and getting them to accept. I was on the phone negotiating a $800-something thousand house until 9 o'clock last night. And literally at one point we sent over a counter, and I told my client I didn't think it was a good idea. Within seconds of sending that counter, that agent texted me, said, "We're walking." And I'm like, oh, and it was literally getting my client back on the phone and saying, hey, this is look, this isn't it. We're losing this deal. Like, I need you to come to your senses and let's be realistic on this. But that's a big part of it, is just staying cool, calm, and collective and not freaking out, even though I wanted to. But that's what it took just to get it under contract, right? Now we've got inspections and all that stuff coming up. Mindset. And I will admit, this is a problem that I will say yes to everybody. If you have something you want to sell, I will sell it. And there's times that you guys are gonna be in front of clients that are not a good fit for you, and you're gonna be in front of homes that are not a good fit for you. If it's something that you think is gonna take more time than it's worth, that's going to jeopardize your career, because you know some people, right? You know, some people are going to complain about everything, and you don't want complaints about yourself. You know, some houses, if it's priced a certain way, it's not going to sell, and it's not worth taking it. It's okay to say no, right? You don't have to work with a client just because they want to work with you, right? And it is very important. Besides this house that I'm talking about, that Tanya knows about, I typically don't like taking stuff that's overpriced at all, because it's not going to sell. And I'd rather walk away than take an overpriced listing, because it's just going to sit there. This one was just such a nice house. So I was like, someone's going to buy it. But it's okay to say no if you don't want to work with those people. So don't put yourself in a situation where you're doing that. Yeah, and this is kind of how it's a good way to walk away. I'll let you guys read this. A polite way to walk away from somebody that's not a good match for you. Yeah, let you guys read that. But I tell them the exact same thing. Like, I would love to say I can get you, like this guy yesterday, I would love to say I can get you 2.2 million. I don't know that I can or I can't. I haven't done my research, but I'd rather walk away than promise you something I can't do, right? And people will very much respect and appreciate you for that. Pre-listing questionnaire is really just, their basic information, what their house entails, square footage, all that stuff that you should be able to basically figure out on your own before you go out there doing your research. Qualifying the seller, do they have a house? That's my qualification. It is a very simple process. If you've got something you want to sell, you are qualified. And then set the listing appointment. Again, I think for most agents, this one right here, setting the listing appointment is the hardest thing to do, and it can be very nerve-wracking. It's for this is almost as hard as asking for the business, those two things. But you have to set the listing appointment. You have to ask to come out and see their house, right? We cannot give them accurate numbers, a Zestimate, right? A Zillow's estimate or whatever it is over the phone or without seeing the house in person, right? Say, look, I have a few questions about the house. I'd love to see it in person. Can I come out there tomorrow at 3 o'clock, right? And ask them for a time. And if that time works, they'll say yes. If that time doesn't work, they'll say no and give you a different time, right? But being consistent and asking for the appointment is going to help you guys a lot of getting in front of people. And I don't care how much you guys know about real estate. If you're not getting in front of people, none of it matters, right? I mean, think about it. So you have to get in front of people. Doing the comps, and the comps is another rev up that we'll spend time doing. But for the most part, you want to find very similar homes. I like to start in a 2 or 3 block radius of your property, ideally in the last 3 months. And find homes that are the same size. If my home's a 3-bedroom, I want to find 3 bedrooms. If mine's a 2-bathroom, I want to find 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that's very similar. And then comp those against each other and see where I should price my house and know the price per square foot, right? So if house A sold for $330 and it has X amount of square foot, take that price divided by square foot, and that's gonna give you the price per square foot. And find a nice average of that in the neighborhood. And then that should put you roughly what your house should be, right? So this is the pre-listing questionnaire that was on the one of the first pages. And I can send this to you guys. This is a lot of stuff that you're going to see when you get to the house, right? And a lot of the stuff you're gonna know while you're there. There's a few things that you might not know. You might not know about the air conditioner, right? Is it central? Is it heat pump? Is it gas pack? Are you on a slab or you have crawl space? Those are things that, especially as a new agent, you might not know or might not know to ask. So having this is good. Obviously, you guys will see if they have solar panels. Ask about the roof, but a lot of this is stuff that you're going to be doing while you're doing the property disclosures, right? Are there leaks? Is anything not working, right? So, but it's a great list of questions of basic stuff about the house. And the more you know about the house, the easier it's going to be for you to get the listing, but also it's going to be easy for you to put it in the MLS because you have to know a lot of information about it then. And then the more you know about it, the better it's going to be when agents are calling you, because agents are going to call you and ask you every question about the house. I think it's a great idea to have this filled out, have this in your CRM, have this in your notes, so that if you're out and about and someone calls about one of your listings, you can quickly pull up your notes and you have all the stuff in front of you. The last thing you want to be doing is trying to remember all the stuff, right? Because again, the benefit of having listings is you can have multiple listings, right? So when you have more than one property, trying to remember the color of the pantry or the square footage of the bonus room off the top of your head is going to get very hard.
So you're gonna send that one to us, right?
Say again?
Hold on. You're gonna send that, right?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Thank you.
Yes, I'll send it to you. Pre-listing questionnaire. Again, kind of the same as the previous one. One thing I want to point on this one is while you're there, it is always a great idea. Why are you looking to sell? And this is something I like to ask early on in the process when I first get to their house and find out what their motivation is. Because that's going to help you guys when it comes to asking for the business and holding them accountable, right? If you don't ask them why they're looking to sell, well, I just took a job in Salisbury, I have to move. My job starts May 1st, right? Or I just had a death, I don't want to have 2 mortgages, I got to get rid of this house, right? If you're not asking those questions, when it comes down to asking for the business, it's very easy for them, well, I want to think about it for a week or 2, right? It's very easy for them to have a way out because you haven't found out their hot button of why they need to sell. So asking for that reason up front is going to help you guys tremendously when it comes down to getting their business. So you can kind of hold them accountable for, the reason for wanting to sell. So this is something that's great if you want to send this before or after your appointment. But obviously things that you're going to need when it comes to getting a listing is a spare key, right? A recent mortgage statement. I usually leave that to the attorney because once it's under contract, the attorney's going to ask for their mortgage information. So I normally leave that to them, but they will definitely want to find out their HOA information, right? And you'll need to know at least their basic stuff as well. You're going to need the homeowner association's name, phone number. You're going to need to know how much their HOA is. Is it monthly, quarterly, yearly? And what does it cover, right? I can't tell you how many times you're going to get asked that once you have a listing. Well, what does the HOA cover, right? Does it mow all the grasses? Does it cover the sewer and water? Some do, some don't. I mean, it's almost every HOA is a little bit different. So know that stuff, keep it in your notes, in your CRM. But this is a great thing to ask for your client. And again, this is really about what type of market we're in. And this is kind of on almost every rev up we do every week. It's a seller's market. If the inventory is roughly 1 to 5 months worth, a 6 month is a very balanced market. And 7 to 12 months worth of inventory is a buyer's market, right? So in a buyer's market, the buyer has a lot more control, right? All right, I want you to leave all your furniture and I want 10,000 concessions, right? In a seller's market, you're not asking for anything. You're lucky to get the house, right? In a balanced market, it's a very even playing ground. And I'd say right now we're still in a seller's market, but we're probably closer to the, I don't know if you guys can see my area, but probably right in this area. So right between the balance market and seller's market. So still a phenomenal time to take listings and get that business. Yeah, and then again, every day, 3 phone calls, add 3 new people to your CRM, add 6 notes. Again, I know you guys are gonna tire of me saying this, but spend time in your CRM, hours every day if you can. So the more time you guys are in there, the better off you will be. I know we kind of went through this one pretty quick today. Any questions or comments?
If you have any open houses, I'm actually, looking. I think Kayla just posted that she's covered for the weekend, probably got her house
So yeah,
under contract or whatever, so.
Yeah,
if you
if
have
I-
anything coming up, let me know.
I'll let you
I
do
got
the
a
one.
question.
Do you have a preference on Saturday or Sunday? You're on mute.
Okay, Saturdays are my preference.
Okay. Time preference?
Probably 12 to 2. or
Okay.
12 to 3.
Um,
And then Kaylin usually does it with me. We make a pretty good team.
Kaylin?
Kaylin, yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you, if you and her both want to do the one on Haynes Hall, she's done the one on Haynes Hall with me before. So
Okay.
she's been there before. But if you want to host that, do you feel comfortable hosting on your own? I mean, I can meet you there prior, and I can meet you there on Friday as well to set up for it.
I don't mind hosting. We did it on our own. We actually invited Tony last time too.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll get that scheduled in the MLS this morning and I'll send you the details.
Perfect.
I already have flyers printed out. It's already there. So that's taken care of. And I can bring out my open house signs again, like Friday evening or something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then you'll send me like the address and stuff. I'll do some research on the house. Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah, of
information
course.
that you could, and if you could give me some information about the sellers, or a lot of times that's what a lot of people.
Yeah,
ask.
this one's very unique. I'll probably meet you there at some point if you have time this week or Friday when I'm going to go drop off the property side, because it's $1 million house. It's there's a hidden closet. There's drawers that you can't see. There's just stuff that you would never know about the house if you weren't there. So I mean, literally the first time I met this guy there was a 4-hour walkthrough.
Wow.
We won't do that long, but I mean, you'll need at least 30, 45 minutes of just kind of like every person that's shown this house, I've had to get on the phone with the agent for a while just to get them prepared. But the great news is the buyers that we've been getting from these open houses are all in that range, right? So it's a great opportunity for you to get some high-end clients.
Awesome.
So
Well, that sounds really fun. I could bake like pastry or whatever, muffins or something from my bakery, and
yeah, that'd be
that
awesome.
would make it fun.
Yeah, so I'll set that up from Saturday from 12 to 2, and I'll get that put in MLS, and I'll send you. I have a website for it as well. I can send you.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And if you guys share that
Yeah,
access
I'll
with me,
contact
I
with
like the
Kaylin.
shows like to come through as well, just to check it out and kind of see what that whole process looks like.
Yeah, of course. And I'll text you those two. Let me text you those 2 distressed properties as well. See if your investors might be interested.
Thank you. And another question I have real quick. When you spoke about like taking these meetings with the potential listings, one thing that I've always like kind of been challenged with is when people want to like know your history, right? Like I haven't sold anything, I haven't been around long enough, I haven't sold anything. So when they're like, okay, so what, have you sold before? What did you sold? How do you kind of like rehash, or how do you like combat that?
So especially when when you're setting the appointment, that really shouldn't be coming up when it's over the phone, right? It just should be more about, I'd love to come out and give you a quick analysis on what I think your house is worth. Can I come out tomorrow at 4 p.m.? Does that work for you? And then when you're getting there, a lot of that's going to overcome by building your rapport, right? So as opposed to over the phone, it's harder to build that rapport and get them to like you. So if you're spending more time on the phone with them, naturally, they're probably going to ask you more stuff about you and what you've done, versus if you just schedule the appointment when you get out there, you've got a great personality, build that rapport, get them to like you and have more fun. And then when it comes to that kind of stuff, when I'm going to my listing presentation, we sell this many houses, right? We had 5 houses going to contract last week. It's more about we and what the team, what Realty One Group Revolution is doing, than it is you individually. And then as your clients grow, then it's, I sold this house last week. I sold this many houses last month, right? So in the beginning, it's just the comfort of you have a full team. Everyone on Realty One Group is a member and is selling and selling quickly. So that's what you want to use in the beginning. It's more of a we than an I.
That makes
And
sense.
if that helps. But yeah, over the phone, for me anyways, the success I've had is less over the phone as far as like information, right? I'm never going to tell them what I think I can list their house for. I'm never going to give them commissions over the phone. It's more of, they might not even know my last name or the company I'm with. It's more like, let's schedule the appointment, get out there. When I get out there, it's rapport,
Gotcha.
get to like me. And then, so a lot of that stuff will go away once you spend time with them.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's good enough. I just because I've had that happen where people ask me, and obviously I want to build a trusting relationship. I don't want to come in like seem as though I deceived them or lied to them. So
Right.
I just never know how to respond without kind of like, oh well, this is a process for both of us to grow from, and I kind of like trying to pivot from having to answer the question, but sometimes they notice, right? And it's kind of like, well, so what have you done? I'm like,
Yeah, so I mean, that's a good thing to have research always. Pay attention to what other agents are posting on our Facebook group. Is hey, we sold 4 houses right down the street last week. Pull it up. It'll say Realty One Group Revolution right on there. You can pull stuff off in the MLS. Like this is all our properties right here, right? So you can easily do that, and that'll help overcome. So I'm on this team, right? So it might not be your specific listing, it's you're on this team that's doing it. So that'll help you as well.
cool. Thank you.
Of course. All right. Well, that's good stuff. Any other questions or comments or?
No, I just texted Kaylin about Saturday and stuff, so we'll coordinate. Should I get Tony on board and come out there too? What do you think? Would that be a good idea?
It's up to you. If you want to have them out there. This will be the 3rd open house we've had. So I mean, the traffic tends to come down a little bit each time. The one that I had the Sunday before last, or Sunday before last, it was decently busy. So we had several people, and someone flying actually, to come see it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's up to you. I mean,
I'll check in with them.
yeah,
And is
I
this
don't think it
house
would be.
vacant or are they living in there?
It is vacant. Yeah, so it may be okay just for the 2 of you guys, just to have a little alone time, and you guys can work on more of your verbiage, since he's been in other ones with you. So I think maybe just having the 2 of you guys would probably be good, right?
Okay.
So there's no one there to fill that gap. So there's more pressure on you and her to like kind of not pressure, but like in a good way, like you guys are going to have to handle the scenario. So I think you're probably ready for that at this point. So
That's what we did last time. It was really good.
Yeah.
It was good. And we definitely tag teamed. It was really nice. One of us was somewhere either outside or inside or upstairs, downstairs. It was great.
Well, I'll put that in MLS now, and I'll try to boost it on social media. So hopefully we'll get some stuff, obviously share on your social media. So hopefully we'll get a good turnout for it. Hopefully I can cancel it if I get an offer this week. But
I know, I'll be cheering for that too. That'll
So,
be huge for you. That's awesome.
We'll see.
Okay.
All right, guys. Well, have a great week. I'll talk to both of you guys during the week. But if you need anything from me, don't hesitate to wait till next Monday when we do these. So you guys can call me literally 7 days a week.
Awesome.
Later.
Thank you, Ryan. Have
Later,
a
guys.
great week.
Bye.
Bye.